Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Well, let's crack on with today's first story. And our first story comes from mayonnaisepies, who says, I, 30 female, want to leave my spouse, 45 male of 12 years, while my dad is here staying with us for a month. I really care about him so much. He's a good person, a great person. He's kind, generous, funny, loyal, hardworking, responsible, intelligent, creative, and supportive. But I have been so lonely. I've had to give up so much because he is also very antisocial, a homebody, kind of emotionally unavailable. Generally just a tired, quiet, unenthusiastic person. I spent my whole adult life so far not doing things I really wanted to do because he didn't want to do them. Simple things like going to a concert or trying kayaking. I know I should have just made friends or done them alone, but I want a partner to do things with at least some of the time. And I have told him that in the past, and maybe he would appease me for a weekend, but then it'd just revert back. I'm talking go to dinner twice a year, go to a movie once a year, drive 3 hours away once every other year to rent a cabin for 3 days. We haven't done that in 4 years now. Neither one of us really have any friends. We haven't hung out with another person other than family in 6 months. I don't know, and it's so rare. Once or twice a year. We did do other fulfilling things like buy a home and get a dog. We spent so much time talking and getting to know each other, but the age difference. I think it's just finally a real issue. He's 45. He does not want to do the same things as me. I am 30. I mean, I've never even gone to a bar to have drinks with friends. I have to go to weddings alone because he won't attend. Just so many simple things. We also only have sex like 2 to 5 times a year for the past 5 years at least. I'm sure much of that is my fault because it's hard for me to initiate in general, but especially when I'm feeling so depressed. I stupidly developed feelings for someone else. It started 6 weeks ago. I have not cheated, honest, but I have feelings, which may as well be cheating, and I can't keep lying to myself or to my spouse. I never meant for this to happen. I can't even understand how it did. Nothing like this has ever happened before, but I just connected with him. I want to go on a date with this person. Something else I have never done. I've never actually gone on a date because I just met my spouse, we hung out, and suddenly we were living together and in a serious relationship. I was so young. I thought he was everything I wanted. I thought I could look past these things because of everything he is otherwise, but I just can't anymore. I want to experience life. He won't even daydream with me. Wouldn't it be so cool to visit Iceland, see the northern lights, huh? And he just goes, and it actually hurts me. I don't want to leave him for another man. I want to leave him for myself and get to experience things I never have before. I'm so heartbroken though. Sell our house? Make him start over at 45? Will he ever find anyone else because he literally does not socialize or leave the house other than go to work? He is my family. We have a dog and a cat. How do I take them from him? Or how do I lose them? How do I lose him? He's been my rock through so many things. I care about him so deeply. I feel so incredibly guilty and just like the worst human on earth. My friend said I could stay with her if shit hits the fan. And she is potentially looking for a roommate soon. I've never lived on my own. I've never been single as an adult or even as a teenager really. I just want to be on my own, date, make friends again, think about my career, figure out who I am. To make matters completely worse, my dad is visiting right now and is staying with us until August 27th. I do not know how to have this conversation with my spouse with my dad in the house. Even if we have a couple of hours alone, then what? My dad comes back and I'm like, hey, I just wrecked my whole life with my spouse. What do you want to do tomorrow? And he knows something is up. This conversation is coming soon, whether I like it or not, because I've been noticeably distant. Before my dad got here like 2 to 3 days before, so a week and a half ago, I did tell him I was so unhappy and unfulfilled, questioning everything, feeling like I missed out on so much. Was talking to someone else, but I did not cheat. He said he understood. I did sacrifice a lot to be with him, but he asked me if I was telling him it's over, time to sell the house, and I said no, I love him. Because that's how I felt then. But now I feel, I don't know. I just want to be happy and I'm not. How do I end such a significant relationship? How do I hurt someone like this, with my dad in the house? I felt unfulfilled and stagnant in life for so many years, but I'd rather be hurt than hurt someone else. I just can't anymore. I want to be happy. I'm devastated. Someone said on this post, the age difference is significant. You're worrying way too much about him and way too little about yourself. Sex twice a year is hardly a relationship. Let him go as soon as your dad leaves. You both will have the opportunity to find someone who you are more compatible with. You got married at 18 and he was 33. That's just wrong. You're barely legal and he should have been dating women closer to his age. Opie says, I don't know how to keep up with this for another month. He keeps trying to talk to me, be close with me, even initiate sex, because when we spoke about how I was feeling, I brought it up. And little things. I remember many times over the last few years saying, you don't kiss me before you leave for work in the morning. I'm usually still sleeping, and he would just shrug it off. But ever since our talk, he has been doing it. He's been trying to take me out, to do things. He's making an effort. I know to try and save the relationship, but I feel checked out. I feel so awkward and uncomfortable in my house, sleeping in the same bed. Edit, you edited your post. He did tell me when we first got together our relationship was a bad idea. He told me that exactly this would happen. I would get older and realize I was missing out and I'd leave him. I said no at the time. And honestly, for most of our relationship, all I truly wanted was him as my companion, stability and security. And I can't stress enough, he is a good person. He's been so loving to me over the years in so many ways. I don't like for him to be painted as some kind of predator. A user says he may be a good person, but that doesn't mean he's a good partner for you. No matter what way you cut the guy loose, a breakup is going to hurt regardless. I'm struggling to understand why you care so deeply about hurting this guy's feelings when he rarely tries to appease you. You already stated you checked out of the relationship and already found another man to talk to. Opie says, all of that wasn't to say he is a good partner for me. He would be a good partner for someone else for sure. I was just answering why I feel so guilty. I hate that it seems like I just found someone else and that's why. I don't want him to think that. I hope it isn't true, also because that's super toxic of me. My therapist said it's not that I necessarily just found someone else, it's just someone else showed me I could have a really different life, if only I had the courage to have it. Someone makes a comment about not sure why at the age of 45 life is slowing down for him and saying, he could be doing a lot of other stuff, and Opie responds saying, that's what I want. I don't want to cheat and have him hate me. I am trying to be very careful about that. I've known this other guy casually for years and we started talking and really connected. He knows everything I'm going through. I finally saw him last week because my therapist said you need to know if you really have feelings for someone else and really want a different life, or you were just caught up in a fantasy. I did not cheat. We walked around a national park, sat on a bench talking. I felt so free, just like being out in the world with another person, laughing and joking. It feels like I did cheat, and I want to see him again. I don't want to be in a relationship when I do. It's very disrespectful to them both, especially my spouse. And I also don't want to jump right into another relationship. I refuse. It's so toxic. I've done enough of that. Life was always slow for him, maybe the first 4 to 5 years. He's a musician and was still active in that, but that's about it. Otherwise, he just works, comes home, wants to watch movies or play video games. We do yard work and home projects together. DIY stuff like refinishing furniture, gardening and landscaping, which I do enjoy, but that's it. We've never been more than 3 hours from home. Most times we don't even leave our town. Actually, most times we don't leave our house. A couple of weekends ago, I kept saying, let's go outside and have a fire, have a drink. It never happened. Another comment says, given the age gap, this isn't really a surprise, but you need to be honest here and talk to him. And Opie says, I do plan to be honest with him. I just don't know how to or when. My dad is here, and I really don't want to hurt him. I actually think he's going to understand. He said he already did when I told him how I felt. But we talked about ways to fix it. I could get some friends. He would try to be more adventurous, would do more things together. But it's just, I want someone who wants the same things as me. Not someone who has to do things to keep me. I hate to hurt him. Hate it. For me, I'm 30. I'm still young still. He's 45. He's also feeling stuck in his career, not financially secure. Now he's going to be alone too. I think we'd make $50,000 on the sale of our house. I just asked for enough to get me on my feet, maybe 5 or 10k. The rest he can keep, or just give him the house, but I don't know if I could get off the mortgage/deed. Opie adds another post where they're saying they basically still can't decide, and they said, I posted a week or two ago. I honestly can't keep track of time anymore. The gist is, been together for 12 years. So many aspects of our relationship are great, but I'm unfulfilled in 2 major ways: life experiences, adventure, and sexually. He's an introverted homebody. I conformed to his lifestyle and told myself for a long time that the positives of being with him far outweighed the negatives, and that I didn't really care about getting to do things I want to do. Over the past few years, my depression and anxiety has increased a lot. Through working on myself, starting to do things I want to do alone and make friends again, I feel conflicted about if I want to continue my relationship with him. To make matters worse, I did make a connection with another man who has a lot of similar interests and life goals as me. I know this has clouded my judgment, but it's what happened. My spouse knows this. I've been honest, and I know I'm emotionally cheating. I know I'm in the wrong. I never meant for this to happen. I was honestly just trying to do what my therapist and I had discussed, which was make friends and stop isolating. I have other friends of both genders that I talk to. I didn't seek this out. It honestly just happened. We connected. I definitely am a people pleaser, and it's very hard for me to put myself first. After talking to my therapist extensively, as well as friends and family, all have given the same advice, which is that I need to think about what I want and let other people react to that how they want. I can't manage everyone's feelings. So I've told him recently that I am sorry, but I am lost and I need to find myself. I have not made any decisions about anything. I'm sorry that I am hurting him and leaving him in limbo, but I don't know who I am or what I want. He basically told me, go have fun with your new boyfriend. Let me know when it's time to sell the house. Which I understand and deserve. To be clear, my intention is not at all to sleep with this other person. My real intention is just to take time to reflect and not feel like I'm pretending everything is okay when it isn't. I want to go grab drinks with friends and talk to who I want and maybe join a gym and honestly just reflect on my life and what I want. I made a choice for the rest of my life at 18 years old. I am not the same person anymore. I need to reevaluate. He said that he knows I sacrificed a lot to be with him. He does want me to be happy. He understands I need to figure shit out, but he's not happy about it. He also told me I'm the only good thing in his life. He can't stand to lose me. He's 45 and I am ripping his life away from him. If he loses me, he has nothing. Those things really make me feel like I have to stay. I never want to hurt anyone. He also made some comments like, yeah, go to therapy and talk about whatever, and your therapist can tell you to leave me, and read your books about how to stop people pleasing and talk to your friends and family. But who do I have to turn to? And it made me feel really guilty. At the same time, I'm not preventing him from getting a therapist or getting his own books to help him understand himself or talking to friends and family. One thing he said that really bothered me and also keeps nagging at me. He said, it's so easy for another guy to come in, find your vulnerabilities and manipulate you into thinking you are unhappy with me. And I wonder if he is right. Is that what happened? Or is he manipulating me by saying that? Because why can't someone just like me? Why can't I have just made a connection? Why does it have to be just because I'm weak and easily manipulated? I also wonder, is that what he did to me when I was 18? Never thought of that before and still don't really think he has intentionally thought, oh, an 18-year-old, she'd be easy to control. But I do wonder if I was easy to control, convenient to be with and pliable, and that I was appealing to him subconsciously or something. As you can see, I'm pretty confused. I'm really trying to put my feelings for this other guy aside, which I do feel I have compartmentalized a bit. It's not my feelings for him specifically clouding my judgment anymore. It's the fact that I really want different things than my spouse wants. I really want to meet people and have friends, and yes, date and have sex. We only have sex a handful of times per year for 6+ years. I'm sure we could work on that, but right now I feel too uncomfortable and disconnected from him to want to have sex. I feel like I did everything backwards. We aren't married, but I essentially became a wife at 18, and now I'm 30 and wanting to go back and do what I should have been doing my entire 20s. Trying new things, meeting new people, traveling, making career choices with only myself in mind. Figuring out what kind of person I want to be / what I want. I'm very confused. How can I separate what I want from my guilt over hurting him? I feel very confident earlier today that yes, I need to take care of myself and do what makes me happy. And then he came home from work and was very melancholy. We didn't talk that much. He went to bed alone. I can see and feel his pain, and it honestly makes me sick to my stomach. And there was many comments covering the age difference, of course, and the manipulation side of things that OP was mentioning briefly in that post. I'll just give one other comment that was different from those, from Elusium, who says, let's leave the age difference aside for a minute. You're in a relationship that sounds unfulfilling for you. You work with a therapist who encourages you to get out more, connect with people, and in the course of that exercise you meet someone who is much more compatible with you than is your current partner. It's natural for you to develop romantic attachment to your new crush in this case. Your partner is blaming the new guy rather than looking at himself and realizing he is not meeting many of your needs, leaving you in a position where you desire a different relationship. He's choosing to remain unchanged and seems to want you to accommodate his preferences, but he doesn't seem willing to accommodate yours. You seem to be struggling to not judge yourself for how you are handling the situation. I think you're doing a fine job balancing your commitment to your boyfriend with your commitment to yourself. You seem to be taking a thoughtful and measured approach to deciding what to do next. I think you know that you're not happy with him and that this is unlikely to change in the future. I think you know that you've got a taste of what a more compatible relationship will feel like, and I think you like that feeling. And I think that you need to know that you will not be a shitty person if you decide to leave your boyfriend under these circumstances. Which OP did respond and says, thanks for the comforting reply. You do sound like my therapist. Other replies sound like the negative thoughts in my own head, that I'm a cheater, being unfair to him, not committed, not giving him a fair chance. I am really devastated about this. I never meant to develop feelings for anyone else and never did in 12 years. I can't help that I made a connection. It didn't start that way, we were just friends and it developed. I didn't foresee it at all. I feel absolutely horrible about it. It's not the way to end a relationship. My therapist said that it's the fire that I needed to see that I could actually have things I wanted. I hate that I feel I can't have them with my current partner. It's been 12 years and I haven't had them. The OP starts their final update with edit, getting lots of messages telling me that I'm a piece of shit or horrible woman, selfish, etc. Those are all the same thoughts I had about myself and sometimes still do, but that's not a reason to stay with someone. So I did it. I left him. After really considering what everyone else had to say and talking to my therapist, friends, family, him, and an extremely kind Redditor who had spent many hours listening to me and giving me advice, even still to this day, and yes, even my crush. I just realized that I couldn't spend any more time questioning things, wondering what else was out there. I had to give myself a chance to have the life I really want. It's been about 2 months now. We're still living together because we own the home, though I am only sleeping here 3 or so nights per week. We are completely civil with each other. He'll be buying me out of the house for less than I'd get if we sold it. But I don't want to go through the hassle of selling / make him have to uproot his life as well. I'm interviewing for some jobs so I can increase my income and afford to purchase a condo on my own, eventually. There's no timetable for when I have to leave. I can take my time since I also own this house. I've been staying in the guest room the nights I am here. I've also been dating my crush, and honestly it is going so well. He's more than a crush at this point. I feel incredibly guilty saying this, but I am happier than I have been in a very, very long time. Being with someone my own age is really different. And being with someone who really wants to experience life in the same way that I do is blissful. He's outgoing and social, and just everything we do together is so much fun. I've done more with him in the past 2 months than I have done in the past 10 years, in all honesty. We've gone to a wine tasting, a beer festival, some town events, a few restaurants, gone on hikes with and without my dog, watched the sunset by the river, many bars with and without friends, barbecues, birthday parties, gone out shopping, danced together in his living room, and had a fire in the backyard while drinking wine, and the list goes on. This weekend we are going out of town to visit one of my friends and her boyfriend. A double date night. He bought us tickets to a concert for one of my favourite bands in November, and we are making a weekend of it. We cook together. He cooks for me, I cook for him, we go to the gym together. I've never really gone before, but he is really into fitness and he's been training me. And on top of all that, the sex is fucking mind-blowing. We want the same thing for our futures, and he encourages me that I can make more of myself than what I have so far. We just have such a great time together. I've also been spending time reconnecting with friends of my own, and it feels amazing to have female friends again. I literally didn't have that for over a decade, I went out of state one weekend with one friend, and we just talked the whole time about everything you could imagine. We laughed, we cried, we gave each other advice, we shared things with each other. It was just really fulfilling. I can't believe everything I've been missing out on, even just friendships like this. I was so isolated. I feel like an awful person still for leaving such a long relationship, especially since it took another man to open my eyes to how unhappy I really was. But looking back, I was so unhappy for so long, I just didn't understand why, and now it's much more clear. My ex is a good person, and I still don't know how I feel about the age difference, but I do know that it broke my heart to break his. It really did. I still cry about it sometimes, not because I question my choice, but because I don't. I'm excited to move out. I'm excited to get my own place and focus on my career and myself, the way I should have done years ago. And that really rips me up. Spend 12 years with someone and suddenly you just want to go. He didn't deserve this. It's very difficult for me to be around him because I just feel so terrible. Even though he tells me it's okay and he has made peace with it. I just thought I'd update. There's still a long road ahead in all of this, but I feel like I'm on the right path. Life is exciting and unpredictable again. For so long, every day was the same, and what I wanted was irrelevant. And OP did make one more post after this, but it was just, asking where they can go for a solo trip to, discover a bit more life, etc. They were still dating, they mentioned in the post, but that was it. And there were a lot of comments below this post saying that they went through exactly the same thing, and it always seems to come back to this age gap that, they got married too early, and they found the major differences between them in a relationship later on and why it wouldn't work, and then they moved on from their life, etc. But how do you guys feel about this story? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. Truly, like I always say, it's time out of your day and you're sat here doing whatever you're up to, listening in. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees. Back in the day, you were everything I need. But then along came a time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you played me like a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't thick enough to read. Oh yeah, you see we in despair, crime everywhere. You're selling false hope cause you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care.